Time keeps on leaving and we keep on moving. When do we pass on our wisdom to the youth? My veteran story, lost arts discussions, fireside chats with a bourbon or two. It's time to hear the stories by our military veterans. Get yourself ready. It's the Lost Arts Podcast. The Lost Arts with Andrew Cox. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Podcast. That podcast is giving a voice to our veterans. On today's episode, we'll be doing a fireside chat with the podcast crew, talking about all kinds of good stuff this week. If you enjoy the podcast and you want to help us out, you are more than welcome to go to the website. You can always click on that, become a patron link. That's a monthly donation if you want to do that, or you can do a one-time donation. Go in and scroll down to the bottom. You can always hit that, give a one-time donation. Anything is appreciated. And if you want to be a guest on the podcast, then email me directly at thelostartwithandrewcox@gmail.com. And as always, we do have merchandise for sale. I happen to have my cool little mug here. Just showing you what I got. Anyways, you can get some stuff. Go to the website. There's a merchandise link on there. So I got my podcast crew here. I'll go around. Robin, Mark, you're first. Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Just trying to get through this late spring of Southern California. We're still getting a little rain now and then. The sun comes out and it gets kind of warm and gets us all excited. Then the clouds come in and starts getting cool and rainy again. So hopefully it's just another week or so of this and get into some good Southern California weather.
Oh, it's coming, I'm sure. It's just right around the corner. Aaron, how you doing?
Doing good. Had better weekends. Arkansas dropped the series to Alabama, so they shut us out today. Oh, it was very bad. Couldn't get the bats going. Pitching's still decent, but you can only hold Alabama's got some good hitters on their team. You can only hold them off for so long.
Yeah. So I know a really good coach. If they're looking for one, his name's Aaron. He coached my team.
I've been challenging in a few of the online posts and chats, saying, "Why don't you just come coach them then, big boy?" And I'm like, DVH has got 40 years plus coaching. He's doing a good job.
I like it. Vic, how about you, man?
Life is good. Let's see what's going on. This coming up week on Wednesday, I have my school's first ever spring concert, so getting ready for that. And then also this coming up week, we're having our front yard redone. We got all these giant bushes in the front yard that are going away. They're ripping out all the bushes. They're putting in seagrass and mullygrass and societal garlic and all kinds of things that look a lot better than what we have here. So we're looking forward to it.
Wow, that's really cool. I like it. You guys are going to have one heck of a week.
Yes, it's going to be a busy week. But Wednesday night is the concert, and after that, it's just downhill from there.
Wednesday is middle of the week, so
Hump day.
Hump day. That's right. Mike, how are you doing?
Doing good. Cut grass today, and now
Nice.
Vic's got me excited because he's talking about grass, and I was like, I get all kinds of excited when we start talking about lawns and stuff. I'm like, what kind of grass? What is that?
What kind of mower you got? Because I know you got some Whizzy Go Fast mower.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called a Craftsman, and Mike propels it.
So it is a self-propelled mower.
Yes, yeah.
I like it.
Well, I keep trying to get a riding mower, and I really don't have a lawn big enough to do that, but I keep saying I want to get it. I keep being told by my better half that you just need to walk and you need to get exercise.
Yeah. I went and exercised. Yeah. I went and exercised. I walked the dogs, and my iWatch told me I was exercising. I was like, oh, heck yeah, I'm counting that. So I hit the button. I counted it. What were you going to say, Mark?
No.
All right. Well, hey, let's get into it. There's been some interesting times. I know Aaron was commenting. I don't know if it was on our thread, but it might have been a different one that he is not going to come back when we hit World War III because he refuses to shave. What was the other things, Aaron? Here's a couple of things you said you wouldn't do.
I'm not going to lose weight. I've tried since I've been retired to cut back. I love food. I love food. I'm what you would what the sergeant major would call a food blister now.
I like to refer to myself as a hog in a human suit.
Oh,
there you go.
I know what you mean, Aaron. It's like I don't really overeat. I don't overdrink anymore.
Yeah, I don't,
and I can't lose a damn ounce.
That's me. I honestly do not overeat. Like I said, I like food. We like to have nice food every now and then, but I don't overeat. It's just Andrew, you seen me right before I retired. I don't know what happened, but there was like a wall when I got up there at the schoolhouse. I was going to say, I actually started training for it. I was like, I'm going to run another Marine Corps marathon.
Yeah.
And something happened one day. I ran 10 miles. And then, like, the day after that, I hit a wall, and it was like my knees hurt, my back hurt, everything just started hurting. And I'd get like half a mile into it, and it would just be like, "Oh, this is a mistake." So
now you hit the screw this crap wall. I won't say
no. It was
honestly,
you, Mike. I'm being honest. It was something. My knees I've never had problems with my knees up until just a few years ago, and they just. Walking up the stairs at the schoolhouse there, and there's a flight of stairs, 2 flights of stairs.
That's what it was.
And
it's the stairs.
Having to
and
walk up there all the time,
telling you to come over all the time.
Yeah.
It's good times. So
for me, it was my metabolism. It wasn't my body. It's just that all of a sudden, like when I hit like 45, my metabolism hit the brakes and went into reverse. Like if I smelled a cake, I gained 3 pounds. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then so I had to like double my efforts. I joined a CrossFit gym, and then the entire time I was in CrossFit, I'm doing all the barbell stuff I'd never done before. I'm burning 800 calories in a workout. 800 calories in a workout, and didn't really change my diet. But I don't excessively eat. I don't overeat. Not a whole lot of sweets. I do have a little bit of a sweet tooth, but like I was burning 800 calories a workout 4 times a week. Never lost a pound. Didn't gain any more, but I didn't lose any more weight. And I'm like, I'm putting on all this muscle mass. Muscle mass is supposed to burn fat, right? So I'm like, what the heck is going on? I was just trading muscle mass for body fat, I guess. I didn't lose a pound. I didn't gain anything. And I'm like, the day after I was out of uniform, that was it. Then I put on 30 pounds and I haven't gained any more. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I can understand. I put on a little bit of weight. I won't bore you with the details, but I like to eat. I'm like Aaron. It's good. Food is good. A little too good. So I was going to World War III here. Who else been paying attention to the possibilities and everything that's going on in Israel? That has been some pretty wild stuff. And what was it? I think it's me and Mark were talking earlier. It's 200 missiles that were fired on Israel, and 90% of them were shot down in the Iron Dome. And the U.S. also shot down some of the drones and things like that. It's pretty wild. What have you guys been seeing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I saw all that, all the drone attacks, ballistic missiles, not just regular missiles, ballistic missiles. It's they're shooting some heavy duty stuff at Israel, all because, and it was all like, oh yeah, you called me a name. Well, I never called you. I mean, it's all the junior high, like you did this, so we're gonna do this back to you thing. They were just looking for an excuse to get in the fight. Iran was just looking for an excuse. They made up an excuse to get into the fight. And now, what is it? Title V of the UN. If Israel invokes Title V, then guess what? We're in it because we're an ally, right? So it's going to be interesting over the next few days, weeks or so. And then what
That's
happens to
true.
our support to Ukraine? Are we going to drop our support to Ukraine because are we going to go on to a two front battle again?
Well, someone from the Biden administration was talking again about bringing Ukraine into NATO, and
that would be
told
the
Russia
worst
time
thing to
and
do
time
right now.
again that we would not do that, and now they keep trying to escalate this thing all the way around.
Yeah, the Biden administration is literally trying to bring us into World War III.
Yep.
Actively working because go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I saw in one article I was reading about China, and China is actually trying to calm everyone down. That's kind of crazy of all people to get involved to say, hey, you guys need to chill out, is China. I did not see that coming at all.
Yeah, I seen a comment on
surprised
that.
me.
I seen a comment on that where I believe it was Senator Kennedy said, we don't want to play world police, but we also don't want Russia and China playing world police either. At the same time, I can see China wanting to get involved and be the peacekeepers, so then they can start controlling world trade. That's what China wants. China wants the control, and they want the money.
Anything they say they're going to do to try to help is nothing but to gain control.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah, absolutely. I also, in that same article, I'll read you, and I'm not a huge Vice President Kamala Harris supporter necessarily.
Music got locked out. Everybody's frozen.
Am I? Huh? I'm good. Is
I'm
everybody
good.
else good?
Oh,
Yeah. All right. It was just you.
Oh,
all right. So Vice President Kamala Harris went into a meeting, I guess, and she came out. She said, President Biden and I met with our national security team following Iran's attacks against Israel. Our support for Israel's security is ironclad, and we stand with the people of Israel in defense against these attacks. And I'll be honest, that kind of shocked me. It threw me for a loop too. And that is probably, in my humble opinion, the smartest thing she's ever said since she's been in office. I could be wrong.
Agreed.
The smartest thing she's ever read, but it's a play on words is all it is. They honestly, I'll be honest, they could honestly probably care less. Because they could have been stronger on this stance earlier, and we probably wouldn't be in this situation. Right after October 7th, they could have been a little bit stronger on the stance and been like, all right, knock it off. We're not going to play world police, but you're going to quit doing this. We're going to quit doing that. Plus, when they lift sanctions against countries that do things like this, it just allows them to continue to do more.
Yeah, agreed. Mike, do you have something to say?
No, I agree 100%. I mean, when you want to sit back and watch for a while and all of a sudden jump in, I mean, you got to expect what you get. I mean, you can't, it's no different in the military. I mean, you can't be a wishy-washy leader, be everybody's buddy, and all of a sudden one day say, you can't do that. I mean, you've got to be consistent, and that's one thing we are not, is consistent.
Yeah, that's very good. Everyone talked bad about Trump being in office, but I will say one thing for the guy. Every world leader was scared to death of what he would do. If anything, there was definitely a play there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It worked well.
All you got to do is
I'm
drop
not
one
gonna tell you who
Moab
to
on
vote
somebody
for.
and people start listening.
It's a good point. Good point.
Didn't he drop 2 during his presidency?
Yeah, I don't know. What's that?
I said, didn't he drop 2 Moabs?
What'd you say?
Didn't he drop 2 Moabs?
Was it 2? I think it was. I think
I
so.
know. Yeah, I know of one which killed Soleimani, the general, the Iranian
Yep.
IGC general or commander. Yeah.
What a weapon that is. Holy moly. That's just like a step below a freaking like nuclear bomb and stuff, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's not, but man, that sucker, like the videos of that thing going off, woo, that was pretty wild. Yeah, that would definitely scare anybody. I don't know. Could be wrong. I'm always wrong. So what else has been going on that you guys want to chat about? That was the one thing I wanted to kind of bring up. What's been happening on your end? Yep. Anybody jump in.
Same old.
Right.
Gas prices continue to go up. Groceries continue to go up.
How do we fix that?
November 7th. That's how we fix that.
And taxes continue to go up. Speaking of, tomorrow's the last day to file.
Yep.
Stupid taxes.
I
I was watching a video. It talked about like driving a car that's taxed, and you pay for the gas that's taxed, and you pay for, and it just kind of went down the list of all the different things, but everything was taxed, and it was over and over and over. It's amazing how many taxes we actually end up paying. Didn't we fight for something like that to pay less tax at some point in time? Isn't that what the whole experiment of America?
Yeah, we dumped a bunch of tea in a harbor.
Yeah.
Over way less percentage than what we're getting
1%
taxed on now.
Over 1%, and income tax was never supposed to be more than 1%.
Man, what happened? Holy cow!
Have any of you ever watched any of those documentaries or videos on income tax?
No.
That there's no legal, there's no law on the books, and I don't know how true it is, but there is no law on the books in this country that state that anyone has to pay income taxes.
Really?
Yeah. And it was something it was put into place.
Prison if you don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you don't. But there's actually, I mean, I've watched it several times, and I'll have to find it, but it was several different. It was one full documentary that I watched, and then it's been several other people or attorneys have talked about it. And there's really no law that states that we as people have to pay income tax each year. But the way it's been worked, it was, it's almost a Mandela effect thing where, okay, you got to pay this, so everybody just continued to pay it. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. Even like, Vic just said, if you don't, guess who's coming for you? They're going to take whatever you own. Hell, even if you couple $100, they want it back.
Yeah, that's no lie. It's amazing how much people pay in taxes. I would love to be rich. Don't get me wrong, but man, thank God I'm not rich. Imagine how much taxes you have to pay. If you're a millionaire or a billionaire or something like that, how much in taxes are you actually paying? It's ridiculous. Way more than I've ever made, probably.
When I keep watching all this crap with Biden, he goes on, there'll be no tax increases if and it's gone up since his presidency. But I think now it's if you make 400,000 or less. I'm like, holy crap! I wish I made 400,000. Really?
What bothers me is that you have all these people that are making millions and billions of dollars, It's not necessarily because they're well, it's not because they're saving their money. They invest their money. They're investing their money, and then when they have tax legal loopholes or tax credits or all these kind of stuff, the taxes that they're paying on that brings their taxation bracket down. So that, like, where they're making donations and they're doing this and that, so they're not holding on. They're not holding on to liquidity. They're not holding on cash in their bank accounts. They put all their money into things so that the money's not sitting there to be taxable. And then you have the administration going, the wealthy aren't paying their fair share, which is absolute bullshit. They are paying their fair share. It's just that the government wants more of their share. You're making all this money, we deserve some of it, because every dollar that you make is already being taxed 12 times. You pay income tax, sales tax, death gratuity tax. You pay. I mean, you're the dollar that somebody makes is taxed literally like 12 times. But no, if you make over $400,000, you're getting taxed more. I don't know.
I think I heard something at one
Andrew?
point or the other. They said something about Andrew, you keep freezing up, but
I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. My daughter was calling me, and everything went nutso on me here.
yeah, I think I seen or heard something somewhere where they want to pay like upwards of like 60% in taxes or something like that. Like they need to pay their fair share, and it's like, well, be honest with you, I feel that politicians should be paying more in taxes because they're the ones spending the money, not us.
Agreed.
I didn't make the decision to spend billions of dollars in foreign country support. I didn't do that. Oh, but you elected representatives.
Yeah.
Well, something happens between the time we elect them and the way and when we send them up there that they succumb to all the corruption. So let them pay the tax.
Yeah, and let them stop voting in their own pay raises.
Right. No more lifetime.
I don't see him anymore.
He's got the screensaver thing on there, the drum.
Yeah, I was just trying to reduce my requirement for a bandwidth to make sure that I don't freeze up anymore.
Right, freeze up like me. I
got
you.
I've never known you to freeze up like that, Andrew.
When it comes to my daughter, I'll freeze up quite a bit.
What do I do? What do I say?
Yeah, it's rough. Raising a daughter is it's a whole new adventure. I could say that. Mark can tell me all about it because you got one or two daughters.
I got 2 daughters and now 2 granddaughters, and one daughter and one granddaughter live with me. So I get to do it all over again. So hopefully this time I might do a little better job.
Take advantage of some second chances,
our
right?
Podcast. Oh, I missed it. Based on our podcast that we did a while back, Mark, you're home a little bit more than you were back then too.
Oh, a lot more. I'm here every day. I haven't had a good 6 to 9 month break in since 2007.
Yeah. What was it? You had said it. You deployed. What was it? 9 times? Isn't that
9
what we
times,
came up with?
Yep. Yeah.
Golly.
9 times. 8 of them since I was married.
Wow. Woo. Your wife is a saint.
She is. She is, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Now I was just thinking that you didn't do your honeydew list.
Yeah. No. But I was just thinking this morning about the little things I notice about the kids the grandkids, when they're asking me questions or talking to me, where I'm thinking, wow, did I just gaff my kids off when they ask me the same things, 30 years ago.
Yeah. Well, you also have your grandpa brain on too, so it's a little
Yeah,
different.
it
I would
is.
say.
It's way different. It's way different because you're not worried about strict discipline and all that. Now you can be more uh, get to
Yeah,
the
you
root of
want
the
to be fun
problem.
now. You want
Well,
to be
yeah,
fun.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Take them up, hand
Want
them
to be
back.
the cool guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I keep telling my wife that I can't wait till we have grandkids, but I don't want any anytime soon.
I was telling the wife not too long ago. I was like, we're more like grandparents than we are actual parents because we waited so long to have kids. There's things that I'm like, yeah, it's not worth the fight. I don't want to argue. just go over there.
Yeah, it's because you're an old man now.
Yeah, wow. I don't know about
You're an
old
old
man,
man.
although I don't recognize myself with all the gray and all that stuff nowadays.
Yeah, back in the day, 20 years ago, you would have been like, no, I said clean your room.
Now I go, fine, I'll clean it for you. Just get out.
That's, especially like say something like dishes, it's just easier to say, step away. I'll do the dishes.
It take you 5 minutes. It takes
Or they
them an hour
break
and a half.
something,
Yeah.
Oh,
Gotta love it.
Oh, I should have said earlier something that has happened since our last podcast. Our daughter is fully licensed now. So
Hey,
yeah,
look at you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Finally out of taxi mode. No longer 17-year-old Uber.
You might be out of taxi mode, but you sure are in some extra paying mode when it comes to your insurance. That's for sure.
Woo.
You have no idea, dude. Seriously. So full coverage, we have 4 vehicles. We have the motorcycle, which is a recreational vehicle. Then we have a minivan, we have a Ford Escape, and we have a Subaru Forester. We have 4 vehicles. Full coverage on all 4 of those vehicles for just Amy and I was $1,500. Adding Jenna to our insurance added $1,200. Just her was $1,200. 6 months.
Yep. Sounds
That's
about
even
right.
as a girl.
Yep.
If you had a son, you stop and think about what it would have been.
And she's got this good student discount, which was like $100 off. It was like $96 off. So I was like, my gosh, you got to be kidding me. And she drive. I mean, like she meets all the wickets. She drives this amount or under this amount, and she's a good student and this and that. And oh my gosh, still it was like 1,168 or something, just under $1,200. It was stupid.
None of my business, but who do you have your insurance through?
USA.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Since I was a corporal, I've been a walking billboard for USA. But I also was listening. I don't know if any of you subscribe or read Daily Wire, but they had a thing on Daily Wire a couple mornings ago. They do a 12 to 15 minute like podcast every morning called Morning Wire, and they said that they would started comparing inflation rates from 2020 to now, and car insurance is one of the highest rates that it's ever been in U.S. history because of inflation right now. So car insurance is up to like 22% since 2020.
No
Ridiculous.
kidding.
Yeah, since 2020.
Wow.
I'm sure there's no correlation there, but just since 2020.
Yeah, it's down here in Florida. It's same with auto insurance, but homeowners insurance has gone up through the roof as well.
Yeah,
there's people paying upwards of like I think there's I seen a news article the other day. These people were paying I think like $15,000 a year for homeowners insurance, over $1,000 a month.
$1,000 a year.
Over $1,000 a month.
Well, State Farm just came out and have all these zip codes in San Diego County that they canceled the insurance.
Isn't that
Will not do
crazy?
home
So
insurance.
so that's been happening. That's one reason is some of these insurance companies are just canceling people's insurance policies.
And what's so crazy, though, the one area, it's called Rancho Santa Fe. It's like the uber rich area of San Diego. And it's like, how'd they get away with canceling there? You know,
Oh wow.
I can see why, because a loss of a house there is, you're talking $5 million house.
Yeah, it'll break the
And it's
insurance company.
And like 10, 15 of them go down. Yeah. But
Well, I mean, if there's fires or whatever, I mean, there's been fires in California a lot. And, something like that happens, and there's 4 or 5 of those homes all next to each other. Man, that's a lot of money.
a lot.
What's crazy is it's State Farm. It's like a huge. I mean, that's a huge corporation.
Correct.
Like you would think mom and pop like insurance companies, sure, okay, they're going to cancel policies, but
Yes.
State Farm canceling policies because they can't cover anymore. Crazy.
Like a good neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's old? What's that clown they always have on TV?
Jake,
Jake. Yeah. Where's
Yeah.
Jake when you need
where's
him?
Jake now?
Where's the khakis?
Jake's hiding out, man.
Yeah. Jake's bailing. He's bailing.
Yeah.
Out.
How's the gecko doing? Is he doing all right? I don't know. I haven't paid attention.
They're not canceling insurance policies. Aren't they just mostly? Do they have homeowners or is it just auto
I have no
insurance?
idea. I got nothing.
I think they've got. I don't know about home, but they definitely carry a multitude of things. But
We have
USAA.
Geico.
Yeah, we have USAA. Well, actually, I have Progressive and USAA because Progressive was cheaper for me up in Virginia, so I took Progressive when I went up there. Well, when I came back and tried to get back on my policy back here, it's going to be an extra $200 a month, and I was like, "No, I'm good. I'll keep my Progressive." And then I added my second to youngest child to my policy when she started driving, and that went up. So I'm paying I think it's about $600 a month for insurance now down here for auto insurance. But USAA won't cover homeowners insurance down here. Not well in certain areas they will, but where I'm at they won't because of sinkholes. If sinkholes are within I want to say half-mile radius or something like that, they won't cover you. So I had
That's
to go
for
with
homeowners.
Yeah. So I had to go with a local insurance company that I think they paired with Nationwide now. So they're kind of larger now. They were what it used to be. I can't even remember what it used to be, but just since we bought the house in 2017, my insurance was $1,800, I believe, for annual coverage. Very cheap. About 2 years later, it went up to like $2,100, and then another 2 years later, it went over $3,000. And then I added flood insurance while I was up in Virginia. I added flood insurance because they said, "Oh, you're in a flood zone." I'm like, "What do you mean I'm in the flood zone?" "Yeah, you've been in the flood zone." I said, "I wasn't when I bought the house," and they're like, "Well, they lied to you." So now I've got. My neighbors lived here 50 years. He said it ain't flooded. It ain't even come close to flooding once. And they've had some very big down. Like the street is flooded, but the yards haven't flooded, and it hasn't come up to the house. But
Well,
I think
ocean levels are rising.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh, that's a good point.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah. That's why Barack Obama bought that $1 billion estate right on the water. He's so afraid of the
Yeah.
oceans rising.
yeah.
But
These people,
these monthly mandatory things like insurance that really eats into that retirement check quick.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Our homeowners insurance went up because we have USA, and they sent us a letter saying, "Hey, we're increasing your homeowners insurance because now the cost to replace your house if something happens to your house has gone up $50,000. So now we're raising your homeowners insurance." Like, what the fuck? Because inflation on wood. It's like crazy. It all apparently started back in 2020. No correlation, I'm sure.
That's
None-
funny you keep
none at
saying
all.
that.
none at all.
Yeah,
not a
because there's a wood
coincidence.
shortage.
Yeah.
Not a
I mean, everywhere
coincidence
you
at
go
all.
in the state
Yeah.
of Georgia, they're
My
cutting everything
satellite
down.
doesn't
So,
say that.
yeah.
My new Starlink satellite is saying otherwise because it's having a hard time making a connection. Apparently, there's too many obstructions, and all I see is trees. So I'm just saying, I don't think there's a shortage of trees.
Well, that
Or
pine,
they need to come here and come down.
I see pine back there. It's probably not any good. Mike works in the tree industry, basically. Right?
I work for a company that cuts them down. Yeah.
Yeah. No shortages there, huh?
No. No, here in Southwest Georgia, everywhere you go, they're everything's going away. I mean, it's just the lumber business is booming because the price of timber is so high. Everybody's selling everything they got. I mean, what used to be acres and acres when you were driving on the road is now fields of snaggled garbage because they've just cut everything down.
That's
Greta
one thing I like
Thunberg,
about the low country here. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna make a joke that Greta Thunberg or Thunberg or whatever
Yeah.
talks about the melting, the high school kid or whatever. Yeah, she'd have a field day if she went down there.
Yeah.
Well, she's out of high school now, right? Isn't she like 19 or 20 now?
I think she's like 20 or 21 even now, I think. Yeah.
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 No,
I don't
down
pay
here
that
in the
close.
low country, it's awesome because they like.
So it's okay to talk bad about her now then.
Oh yeah. No,
Don't
she's
want
still a
to
little
do it
brat.
as a child.
Well, I mean, they said that Barron Trump was now 18, so he's quote unquote fair game, which was a weird
Yeah.
comment, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, that was
Yeah,
a
well,
typical
they got all
Sergeant
that
Major
out while he
comment
was
right
in.
there. Fair game now.
I remember being 18, standing on the yellow footprints. I was called way worse.
Oh, yeah.
I remember not too long ago I was called way worse. I'm just saying.
At your retirement. No.
Yeah. No, from you
What, last night?
last night. Yeah, it was the wife.
Hey, can we go
fine,
back to
though.
something Vic said earlier?
Yeah.
I don't mean to change the topic, but Vic said something about a minivan. You seriously have a minivan?
So when our daughter was 2 years old, the plan was to have more kids. So we were thinking for the future, right? So we bought a minivan, and then actually it was when she was a year old, and then when she turned 2 years old, and we started trying for number two, and number two never came along. So then, but like being a drummer, I always got shit to schlep around, so we just kept the minivan because it was like easier. I mean, I could put my drums in the back or whatever in the back,
I'm playing with you, man.
No. But like I still get shit about it. And the funny thing
I
is,
figure down there in
it's
Florida,
my vehicle.
every time I go to Florida, all I see is these little squatty trucks. They squat the rear end and driving around. I'm like, but you're a bike guy, so that's what I expect to see Andrew in as a squatty truck. He'll be riding around like.
In my defense, as soon as we bought the minivan, I told my wife I'm putting skulls on it. And she said, "You're not putting skulls on the minivan." I totally put skulls on it. So I got a skull license plate frame, and the families that like little stickers you put in the rear window. I had 3 little skulls in the window, and then I got like a skull for the lighter, the inside lighter. I got a little skull cap for that, and skull hanging off my my rearview mirror.
It
I
makes
saw
it
one
okay.
like that the
You
other
have
day.
skulls on your minivan.
I totally do.
I saw one like that the other day. It was literally like Dad was a 50 cal. Mom went down, and it was just a smaller cartridge down the line. It was.
That's pretty smart. Dang. I need to get something like that. That's a good deal. I got
for the
my
RV
Mini Cooper. Huh?
Are you towing the Cooper behind the RV? What are you doing?
Probably, but we don't know 100%. We got to figure it out soon because we're going to be moving along. So we got to figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah,
but
you
the
still got the
RV is
Jeep.
very nice. I don't know if you guys saw my my.
I don't know
intro
why
video
Andrew's not in
to
a
the
bathrobe
RV.
right now.
Hey, let's talk a little
And a
bit
Meisterbrow.
about some of the things you got to do in an RV. I just we're at a lot that doesn't have like sewer connections. You have to get like this I don't know what they call it, tote or whatever, a poo tote. We'll call it that. I don't know. But you got to dump your sewer into the tote, and then you got to drive the tote over to the sewer spot, dump that out, and then come back. I had to make like 3 trips, and I was like, what in the world am I doing? Yeah, I never knew that I would be a poop man, but here I am.
It's called a Blackwater tote in the biz.
Oh, Blackwater tote. Noted.
Sir, you're the human SST that we knew from Iraq.
Yes. Yeah. It's a good thing that we got practice while we were over there. When we were on Blue Diamond, they had a shit truck that would go around, and the 2 guys that were on the shit truck got captured at some point in time. I think they got captured in Fallujah because they would drive back and forth or whatever. So they got captured. So we went, I don't know, days, maybe even weeks with nobody cleaning the shitters. So there was literally piles of shit coming out of the porta shitters. And
what time of
the
year?
battalion commander come around with the sergeant major. Yeah,
what time
they
of
came
year?
around. What was that?
What time of year?
I don't remember.
Summer.
Do you remember, Mike?
Summer
it was like May or June. May or June.
Summertime.
Yeah, you know it's bad
pleasant,
when you've got a lieutenant colonel sucking shit Porta John. Lieutenant Colonel Beast.
They went. I remember them coming in and being like, "Where are the keys to the shit?"
Yeah, that's when it's so bad you don't even stick around for the Porta John tennis. You know, you just get in and get out.
Wow.
You guys never had
Porta John tennis? It's been a while since I've heard. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Mark, you know what he's talking about?
No, I missed it.
Porta John tennis?
Go ahead and explain it.
No.
When you sit down on the shitter, there's somebody wrote something on the door that says "Look left." You look left, and it says "Look right," and then you look right, and it says "Look left." Porta John tennis.
Oh my!
I remember having people having to paint the Porta Johns because they were putting stupid stuff in there. Yeah, that was good times.
When I was at Al Asad,
I think Mike
just outside my pedestrian entry point, we had like a line of 7 shitters. The middle shitter was the lesbian shitter, so it was like all the stuff written on the inside was all lesbian stuff. Well, the Secretary of the Navy came to see our base, came to Al Asad, and he came through, you know, and all that kind of stuff, you know, and he came through and he goes, looks back at his entourage. Pardon me, gentlemen, I got to use the bathroom. So he goes into the lesbian shitter. So what's the first thing I do? Hey, Secretary of the Navy just put a lesbian shitter. What do I do? little crank phone, you know. Secretary of Defense with a Navy. Whatever. It was hilarious. He came out and he was like,
"You were this." That's the Sergeant Major's worst nightmare.
Sergeant Major Reed was his name. That was the sergeant, the wing sergeant major there.
Oh,
yeah, you couldn't spin that TA-312 fast enough, could you?
Yeah. Secretary of the Navy just went lesbian shooter.
had enough power for 3 or 4 phone calls.
Yeah.
Okay, Mark, tell us some good stories about being a sergeant major and some of the stupidity that you found, or even first sergeant, gunny, whatever. I know you say you've seen some crazy stuff.
When as a first sergeant in Lima 3-1, we were in 05, 06. 3-1 was headquartered out of the Haditha Dam. And so in a dam, I don't know if you've ever been inside of a dam, but there's just, there's like 30 or 40 like floors, levels in there. And so of course, on the top deck is where helicopters would fly in. That was our little landing strip right on there. But then there's Porta Johns there. So, but you know how Marines write in Porta Johns, especially if they have to air their grievances and everything. So of course you got the first sergeant that's in charge of the H&S company first sergeant, of course, is the camp commandant. He worked his company commander as the camp commandant, so he's responsible for every morning sending a working party with a spray can, to spray over all the bad stuff on the inside of the Porta Johns. And so one of the master guns, our ops chief, or no, he was the ops chief for the weapons company. He took a picture of on the inside of a Porta John, there was a hierarchy, and about bad things or their grievances, right? And it was ended up being Mooj theses, and then First Sergeant O'Loughlin below that. And the weapons company first sergeant, they were headquartered out of there too. We were out we'd only come back. So I was a rifle company, so we were out in one of the villages. We'd only come back maybe once a week. And so the weapons company first sergeant, he was there all the time. So I told him he was a former drill instructor also, and I had to tell him one time, I go, how is it that they're so mad at me for making corrections all the time? And I'm only back here once a couple days, maybe every other week. You're here every day, but you're not making enough corrections or something because they hate me more than they hate you. Yeah, that hierarchy. I wish I had the picture because it was great. I don't know how I lost it, but I was below Moose shit. Uh-oh, Andrew left.
Oh man.
Great.
And now we can
Let's see.
talk
We're still
about him.
recording, and he's not here. So what do we say about?
Now we can talk about him.
Yeah, I was talking bad about him.
Yeah. He's back.
Yeah, I heard all that.
He's back, guys. He's back.
I'm just kidding. I didn't hear anything.
Them pine trees got you covered up.
Those pine trees have a big middle finger. I don't know about that. It sure does.
So you should have got that extended Wi-Fi plan through whatever you got with the RV, but you didn't do
it. Don't you
they
have
didn't even
on the
offer
back
me
of the
Wi-Fi?
RV?
They didn't even care.
What
what?
He needs the type of RV like Robert De Niro had in that Meet the Fockers movie. With the CIA connection and everything.
I do need that. I bet you I wouldn't have any drop calls at that point.
So
yeah, the rest of your family be like, where'd he go?
Or like a ladder on the back of your RV. You can just do your podcast from the top of the RV.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I climbed on the top of that son of a gun, and I put that little satellite deal up there. Yeah, did it work? No, not at all. Too many trees. And right now, I had to come out to the gazebo that, thank God, it has electric out here, and put it out in the open. I still couldn't get it to work right. It's got to be user error. That's all I can think.
It's got to be user error because they're using it pretty good in Ukraine, or they were.
There does seem to be a common denominator.
Yeah.
I need a team to come and help me with all. Where's all the Lance Corporals when you need them? Jeez.
They're riding in the Porta Johns.
About Mark.
Riding in the Porta Johns. They're playing tennis.
Yeah.
That E3 Mafia isn't coming to help you.
No. Call the
Oh,
call the schoolhouse. Get a working party
Yeah.
before Jack retires.
I know. Man, that's the one thing I probably miss more than anything else is something goes wrong and I'm like, dang it. And you could always find some young Marine that knows what the heck is going on. I don't have that anymore. And my kids aren't quite old enough. And my wife doesn't like putting up with it. So she entertains it for a while, but that's about it. It's nice to have a Lance Corporal every now and again. Young guy, knows what they're doing. I lost two.
You know what you're doing.
No, I'm still here. I just stuff in my face still.
Hey, let's go back to Porta Johns. Mark, you I'm sure you were over there then in 03 when we were in Kuwait before the war. There was a hole in the 1st Marine Division at Matilda, and we were all of a sudden there was this whole big investigation. There's Porta Johns galore, but there was this whole big investigation because there was a bunch of females running a racket, and there was a hole. It was unbeknownst to me what it was, but it was like some secret code. It was like hieroglyphics written on inside the Porta Johns, and it was like, go to the 10th Porta John from the left, and then go 6 down and come up. And they were making money doing, stuff like that, and they literally there was. I mean, they got several of them with thousands of dollars of money doing that kind of crap.
Is it any worse than prostitution rings on Navy ships? I mean,
probably not. No,
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that I mean, people's always going to find a way for a side hustle.
Yeah.
Well, there's a will. There's always going to be a need.
Isn't that
the Israelis have a saying that Eros will always trump Mars. Once you start putting the males and females together, it's going to happen.
Mm.
It doesn't matter wartime, peacetime, whatever.
It's a true statement. It's a true statement.
Yep.
You see that at the School of Music, Andrew.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the time. The golf course is a particularly popular place to go.
Vic said he'd been there several times. We talked about that. So.
I discovered a new thing since I've been here, while I was there, I should say. On top of the barracks, they had left a latch open so they could crawl through the top and get on the roof. And they were having some parties and having some good times up there for a while. So we had to go in and make sure they locked it all up. I'm telling you, Marines are pretty smart when it comes to getting in trouble.
We watched that in Ramadi when we were there in 04, Andrew. Well, I didn't watch it, me personally, but getting on top of buildings at Blue, I'm sure you did, but I don't know that you did. But hell, there's incoming, indirect fire. There were Marines up there that got Purple Hearts and that for splinters while they were up there sunbathing.
Getting them sunburns.
Yes.
On their knees. Yes. The sunburns on the knees.
I was gonna tell Andrew he didn't have that problem with 0511s. They would just drink in their room, and then when duty come to the door, they would open the door and say, "Yep, we're in here drinking."
That's a true statement. Yeah, you guys ratted yourself out. Yeah. I will say, Mike, when that whole thing went down, if you went up to one of the towers, you could look down and see the individual, at least one, sunbathing in a bikini regularly. And in fact, that individual, when we had a mortar attack, got hit by something. I don't know what it was. when we came back, they all went to, there was like there was a game show on TV, and I don't remember what game show it was. But
Price
they were
right.
going down the line. What was it?
The Price is Right.
Probably was.
No, it wasn't. It was something.
Price
like
is wrong,
that,
bitch.
But they were going down.
Bobby.
They were going down the line asking Marines, "Hey, what'd you get your Purple Heart for? What'd you get your Purple Heart for?" Like legit, like going down the line. And we knew that she was there, and we were super excited because it was like, oh my God, what's she gonna say? Right? Oh, I got my Purple Heart for sunbathing on top of the barracks or whatever.
Yeah, illegally.
Yeah. So it goes down the line, and everyone's got these crazy stories, and it gets to her. She's like, I just want to say hi to mom and dad. And we were like, oh, yep, sunbathing. It happens.
Yeah, that's why you're always going on the top of Tower 3 and 3 Angel, standing up there. Every time I call, I'm like, where the hell are you at? I'm just checking on Tower 3. I'm up here at 3 Angel. Well, the sad thing is I don't even remember her name now, and if I did, I wouldn't say it, but she was a gunnery sergeant, came off the drill field, and she was participating in that with them. And they would go on top of the building that was truck company and sunbathe up there because the way it sat, you couldn't see it from ground level, and it was next to the river. But yeah,
but you can
if the one I'm thinking of, you're talking about, if it's the same one that I know specifically of, she ended up marrying the supply chief.
Oh no, it's not that one.
Oh no, okay.
I know who you're talking about too, but no, it wasn't. But there was some interesting stuff there too. There was some good times. I tell you, it's amazing the stuff that goes on in combat, and especially when I remember my dad telling a story. He was during Korea, and when he went over to Korea, he had a prostitution ring that he and his buddies provided. So they went out and got some females to help and everything, and so they were making bukus of money with this prostitution ring. And at some point, he had some young kid that was, a Korean kid that was working for him or whatever, and he felt bad for the kid. So he ended up he like stole all the money, not stole it, I guess. He took all the money that they had made, gave it to this kid. This is right before he was shipping out. Gave it to this kid and said, just run away and keep the money. And so the kid was like, he bolts, and he, probably lived the rest of his life in a castle or something. And, my dad, that of course all his buddies were mad at him and stuff, but he cared about that. So,
yeah.
But yeah, my dad that became like a minister, by the way. Got to keep morale up somehow. Morale's important. Now, I personally didn't see that while I was deployed or anything, but I know that it happened. That is for sure. And you're right, Mark. When you get the opposite sex in the same general area with the lack of having your significant others there, that does happen sometimes. That is true.
I know this soldier I went to college with after I retired. He was in 101st Airborne, and his unit was mixed. It was an infantry type unit, but they were mixed, had females and males, and he used to tell me how bad it was. About how it destroys cohesion. It just destroys cohesion because he was dating one of them, and then as soon as they broke up, this is out like in Afghanistan, in primitive areas. So he was hooked up with her, then they broke up, and she hooked up with somebody else, and he said he admitted he had thoughts of hurting that guy. And it's in his home platoon. And
Wow.
it's like it just destroys cohesion.
Yeah, that's very true. I remember being in deployed. There was that Iraqi that lived right outside of the gates, and I don't remember that dude's name to save my life, but he made these cookies, and the cookies in they were called cock. That was the name of the cookie. I don't know. Maybe that's how they said it in Iraq. I don't know. So we had this lieutenant that worked, female lieutenant that worked in the COC. You know who I'm talking about, Mike. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
We're in the box.
Anyway, so the BOP. There you go.
Yeah,
whatever it was. I don't know what the hell it was. Anyways, I remember coming in with these cookies that this Iraqi gave me, right? And I come in and I go, "Hey, ma'am, you want some cock?" She was like, it's like everything went silent. And she looked at me like, "What did you say?" And I was like, "You want some cock?" And she's like, I don't know for sure what you're saying.
Oh, and I remember you saying that. You remember Captain Hammond sitting back there in the corner. He's like, you want some cock.
It's true. Oh my God, that was so funny. And then finally I was like, "Ma'am, get your head out of the gutter. It's a cookie. It's cookie. That's how they say it."
We had an HCN because when I was out at Al Assad,
and you didn't get a nip lock for that?
No. I should have. Man, if you would have been my senior enlisted, I would have got one. But
he was just a dumb sergeant at the time. He didn't know anything.
Yeah, I would have got it. Should have.
We had an HCN that was working on our pool because US was repairing the pool there at Al Assad, and I think it was the foreman guy. His name was Offuk. True story. So,
I'm sorry. You had a fucking, excuse my language, you had a fucking pool? Really?
Dude, you don't remember that?
But they were fixing it. The entire deployment, they were fixing it. So we left, it was broken. When we got there, it was broken. When we left, it was still broken. But there were HCNs there every day working on it, doing something. Teaching us Farsi and like drinking tea, and then every now and then they put up some tile or something like that to drink some more tea and teach us how the words to left, right, open, close, and all that kind of shit, but the foreman's name was Offuk. Offuk's here. Offuk. Yep.
Hey, what year was that, Vic?
That was 2004 and 2005.
Well, it still wasn't fixed in 2009. When I was there. I think they just gave up on
it. Yeah, I've watched those people try to build a damn brick wall, and I was like, what really? I mean, they're literally putting up cinder blocks and they're digging dirt out of the ground and pissing on it to get it wet, and then slapping it on there and sitting there like, yeah, that's a secured fortification. That's the pool, seriously. At least you were tempted with the thoughts of having a pool. Mark had it even worse than we had it.
The best part about Al Assad
Mark
was the
living
bazaar
out
that
in
they
town
had
with everybody else.
The football stadium.
What football stadium?
No, Mark,
there was like
Mark
a track and field kind of football stadium.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
It was a stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, but like underneath the bleachers, because they were all cement bleachers underneath, they had like a bazaar going on.
Yeah.
So like every couple of weeks, you could go buy some cigars or something like that.
Yeah, they still had all that. Mark said he lived in the Villas. The Villas.
What were you seeing, Mark? You were out there. What did you see?
Well, the first tour, we were just we were in our vehicles, living outside our vehicles the whole time because we come off the Mew and landed with the Mew and then went in, but we didn't get there in 2003 till like September. So we didn't go for the invasion. But then in 2005 and 6, we were in a village, so we took over like a school compound. So we were living in just a cement building. But then in 2007, we were in a combat outpost outside of Ramadi, and so when we were back in the rear, we were just in tents. And then when we're out in the village, we'd live outside our vehicles, or we'd take over a house, and stay in there for the night. But
yeah, definitely different than what we saw.
Yeah,
for sure.
I feel bad for some of those Marines on the Mew because they like some of them like when I was there they had been redirected, so they were not intended to come to Al Asad or whatever. They got redirected, so none of them had any warming layers or anything at all. And like I was on night crew, so like it got down into the high 20s, low 30s.
Heck yeah, it gets cold at night.
Yeah, they didn't have any warming layers at all, man. They were miserable, freezing their rear ends off. I felt so bad for them.
It snowed in Al Asad when I was there in the wintertime.
Oh dang!
Yeah, we didn't get any snow, but I mean it's fucking cold.
We didn't have no snow, but we were there like this from September of 05 till April and May of 06. And so yeah, that winter was wet and cold. We were right outside of Al Asad was our base, what we could call a home base, besides the Haditha Dam. But yeah, it was cold, wet, rainy all winter. And frost in the morning, it was cold in the mornings.
I was going to say
those guys without warming layers.
I was going to say, Mark, even all that in my mind was still better than the ship life.
Really, huh?
Well, until you get to the gunny, and then you're in Chief's mess.
Well, yeah.
Chief's mess is pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Oh, yeah. It's the best because the Chiefs run everything on a Navy ship, and the Chiefs mess is the food's
and
the
they
best
actually
because they you have to pay into the Chiefs mess, right? Every chief and every gunny and above pays.
Oh,
Is that me?
Mark froze up, but
Mark froze.
Yeah, I was gonna say something else too. Their berthing. There wasn't a whole lot of gunnies and mass sergeants. I was on the big deck, so other than just the headquarters, there was a handful of gunnies and above. But they had plenty of space in their berthing too. We were literally racked and stacked. I think it was
like 5 high.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 high. And you had staff sergeants in with the the PFCs. I think we had one PFC he got promoted to Lance Corporal while we were underway. We actually had a kid that was a Lance Corporal and ended up picking up sergeant before the end of the deployment. It was a 10-month long deployment, but he got meritorious.
Wow.
He was meritorious sergeant, I believe.
Dang,
he picked up corporal and then went on meritorious sergeant board. Yeah. But he was running, but he wasn't on the big deck. He was on the New York. It was the New York's first operational deployment, the USS New York, and which is an LPD, and he was a watch chief for the Mew. So we had Alpha and Bravo Command. He was Bravo Command with the Mew XO, and he became a watch chief as a corporal. So
good for him, man.
Yeah, that was definitely unheard of.
I hope California didn't just drop off into the ocean just now.
I hope not either.
Yes.
Yeah, because I really want to know what the Chiefs pay.
I know.
The Chiefs pay.
The Chiefs pay, and then that's it. That's it. We got nothing else.
Like, seriously, you gotta pay into it?
Let's look up the news. What happened in California just now?
Right.
I mean, isn't that like reverse? I mean, why the hell the Chiefs and that have to pay in? Shouldn't the juniors pay in for the Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Chiefs mess, they run everything. When I say everything has to go through the Chiefs mess, it's ridiculous.
That's what I've seen, yes. But I didn't,
The Chiefs mess was right next to, on the big deck, was right next to us. And I got the privilege, I was a staff sergeant, but I got the privilege of popping my head in there a couple of times. And I'm going to tell you, they didn't have shit on our mess deck for chow, right? Just almost like it was scraps. I think it was like 2-day leftovers or some crap like that. It was literally the same thing we had the day before. And I popped my head in there, man.
Stuff.
Yes, they had
lobsters,
tons of stuff in there, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" So I don't. He ended up retiring as a Master Guns last year, but Larry Cordell, he was a gunny at the time. I was like, "Hey man, bring me some chow." He was one of the watch chiefs on the Mew, and I was another watch chief. I said, "Hey man, bring me some chow out of there." He started laughing. Sure enough, mid rats, he comes bringing in some freaking bunch of good chow from the freaking chief's mess.
I'll tell you, man.
If you're not a gunny or a chief, you ain't nothing on the ship.
That's the thing that at least our outfield in the band, they can't stand it. Like the staff sergeants, they get roped in with all the junior Marines. Boy, they get all kinds of frustrated. It's just funny to
now,
watch.
We did have the first class little mess area, like off the main, I forget what they call it, the main mess deck there. But you couldn't pack maybe 10 people in that little small area. So and of course with all the first classes on the ship, you had to pick an off time to go to chow.
You see Mark's thing?
Yeah.
What happened? They lost power?
He said he lost conductivity. So I said we thought maybe California fell off the ocean. We'll see if he comes back on. It's all good. It's not like I didn't fall out 3 or 4 times. Hopefully the recording kept going. I don't even know if it did.
Yeah, it's been going the whole time.
It did.
Did it say it?
It did.
It stopped? Stopped recording?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it kept going.
We didn't hear the little recording has stopped. We didn't hear that, so I guess it's still recording.
Mike's usually the one that keeps getting dropped. Vic and I never had issues.
I think I dropped twice, and every time I came back on, it said recording in progress.
I was
Vic's holy cigar is keeping his going.
Yeah, it is. I totally would have got a cigar, but all my cigars are dried out like it's cool. I only had like 3 or 4 anyways.
I'll bring you some in a few weeks.
I will say I'm still living off the moonshine and the bourbon from my retirement. So just so everybody. Oh, by the way, my wife got a little angry with me as I started figuring out a place to put my bourbon when we're moving into the RV. So the place that I picked was the place that she picked for something else, and I
didn't go over too well.
I partially won. I didn't win the whole thing.
Well, how many gallons do you got again?
Well, of moonshine.
Yeah.
Gallons. I do not have 3 gallons of moonshine anymore, in case you're wondering. Between drinking it with people and myself, and it's smooth. Oh my God, is it good? He did a good job. Moonshine.
All right. Challenge accepted. I'll be there in about 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Oh, it'll be gone by then.
2 weeks? Are you serious?
Yeah. It's the 14th now, so 2.5 weeks. I'll be there.
For Jackson.
Yeah, I'll be up there on the 2nd.
Okay. Man, I'm telling you, retirement time is like, I don't even know what day it is. I'll be honest with you.
Oh no. Yeah, even though I'm working a quote unquote 9-to-5 job, I'll lose. And I'm supposed to be on the schedule. So I technically we have in Agile, right? Which is project management for IT. It's
Scrum meetings and all that kind of shit.
Scrum meetings. Yeah. It's like we call it it's a sprint, a 3-week long sprint, and I go by every 3 weeks. When's the next thing due? 3 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now. So, but yeah, I always have to check. I had to check today. When is taxes due? So I had to look today, and they're like, "Yep, sure enough, due tomorrow."
I should probably ask my wife about that. Don't look at me like that.
You sound like me, Andrew. You sound exactly like me. You sound like me. I relinquished all command of anything financial, bank statements, everything and anything. When it comes to taxes, I'm like, hey, do we do the taxes?
We pay those?
Y'all no longer have burden of command.
No, she's just better at it. She can, my wife can, take a nickel and make it $1. That's just her forte, and that's a long time ago. So,
my wife can. She's probably listening, but my wife can take a nickel and make negative 50 cents.
Hey,
I'm back.
Still alive! Woohoo!
we were looking. We were trying to see the headlines. We changed the channels, and we were like, "Did something happen? What happened?"
We thought for sure California fell off in the ocean finally. Woo! Thank goodness.
Andrew was running to crank up the RV.
I had to spin that TR-312.
Yeah, the redneck Navy was coming. If it wasn't.
We were worried, Mark. We were really worried. I'm glad you actually texted to say that you were alive.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Sometimes if other people in my house are using the internet, it will shut down or something. I don't know.
You know what's funny about the internet and how connected we are nowadays? I remember, and I'm sure all of you have been through this, but do you remember party lines?
Oh yeah,
where you shared the phone line with like your 3 or 4 neighbors, whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. My dad used to make me run, like we'd answer the phone, it'd ring, we'd answer it, or I would say my dad answered it, and he would tell us, "Hey, run over and tell old Joe or whoever it was that he's got a phone call." I'd have to run from my house a quarter mile down the road to tell the next guy that, "Hey, man, you got a phone call." Like, what the heck? I thought Dad was just messing. That was good times.
But we had a party line, yeah. When I lived with Mom out in the country, out halfway to Gore, we had a party line. We had like four different families on our telephone line.
And it was supposed to ring, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a hot minute since I've done it, but it had a different ringtone or a ring for each party line, if you will. Something like that.
It did. It's just no one would pay attention to it. They heard the phone ring, they'd answer it.
That's right. Yeah.
And you had to listen for the click of somebody picking up the phone so listen to your conversation.
Especially when you're talking shit about your neighbors.
That's right. Yeah. You pick up the phone to make a phone call and somebody's having a conversation. You're like, man, you got to hang up and you got to wait, pick it back up. No, he's still talking. Hang it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
The house 2 doors down had 2 teenage daughters. That was awful. Awful.
Oh, yeah. I remember dating whenever, I was a teenager. There's many a times we stayed on the phone way too late, but it was all good. I ended up marrying that girl, so we're good. 28 years.
Yeah, and everybody heard what you were talking about too. So
yeah, it didn't make it right, Andrew. You were still in the wrong back then.
Speaking of car insurance, we're going way back now. Speaking of car insurance, and I don't remember who said it, but I think it was Mike. You said, thank goodness it wasn't a male individual that was driving or that you have to get insurance for. I remember specifically driving my Chevy S10 as fast as I possibly could off what we called the mountain, which was a hill. But it was a really steep hill and it was a lot of fun. And I remember maxing it out and it popping off the boom, boom at the max, which was 95. but it was bouncing like this, right? And I was hauling ass, and then whoop whoop, man, I was like, come on. So I pulled over. It happened to be Jack Rosenberg, who was a highway patrolman, and his son was one of my best friends, or one of my friends, right, that we hung out with. And he pulled me over, and he's like, seriously, what do you do? Why are you going so fast? I was like, I just wanted to see how fast I could go. He's like, are you kidding me right now? And I was like, oh, come on, Jack. It's not a big deal. And he's like, you got to stop doing it. You want me to tell your dad about this? I'm like, no, don't tell my dad, please. Whatever you do, don't tell my dad. But yeah, Jack caught me and my wife, my now wife, as we were in the gravel pits, enjoying ourselves. And let's say the windows were fogged up a little bit. And he come up and knock on my window. And I'm like, oh, I wonder who that is. And I had to like wipe the fog and the stuff off the window. And I looked, I'm like, it's Jack. And I'm like, oh man. I wrote down, hey Jack, how you doing? He's like, yeah, you can't be doing that here. You got to go. I'm like, all right, Jack, got it. Yeah, I'm taking off now. Yeah, that was a good time. Small town USA right there.
Was that the same? Was that the same truck that I bent the bumper 90 degrees?
No, that was my dad's truck. It was a Chevy. I can't remember what it was, but it was a bigger truck. But no, the Chevy S10 was that blue one that I got when I.
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
that's right.
No, it was a brown truck. It was brown and tan, and you bought. What was it? We were going. I can't remember what it was. It was a band thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
and you were driving my truck.
The All-Star Marching Band. Yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah, and you got clipped and bent the bumper like it was like completely bent over.
Like 90 degrees out.
You were freaking out. You're like, dude, man, I bent the bumper. I don't know what. I'm sorry. I'm like, don't worry about it, man. We'll figure it out. And we did. We backed it into a tree, and it went back in place. It all was good. You know?
It wasn't a Chevy Silverado.
It might have been, actually. Yeah, it might. I know it was a Chevy. It might have been.
So I was driving.
Yeah, it was a good truck though, man.
And we were following the charter bus that he was on, going up to this band thing. And Carlene was sitting next to me, and his little brother Adam was sitting on the other side of her. So three of us in the truck, and we're on the interstate in Oklahoma City, going north through the interstate of Oklahoma City. And this car is like merging onto the interstate. We're like 4 lanes wide in one direction. This car is like trying to speed up to merge, and they blow a tire in the far right lane. And it was their left tire. So they swerved all the way left across 4 lanes of traffic. They hit the divider wall just in front of me, hit the divider wall, bounced off the divider wall behind me, and clipped the back of the truck. And then their car pulled the bumper out 90 degrees. And all I felt was a little whoop. I was like, oh shit, we better keep going, or I'm gonna, because I didn't know where I was going. I was like, if I lose I didn't know where my way around Oklahoma City. If I lose that bus, well, I don't know where we're at. We didn't have cell phones back there with GPS on them, nothing. So I just kept going.
That's right. And then all you young folks that don't understand, we didn't have daggum phones with the GPS and all this.
We didn't even have MapQuest.
We had a daggum MapQuest. You printed this stuff off and you put it in your car and you hoped you made the right turn. Yeah.
You hope you were reading
AAA.
You hope you were reading MapQuest right, because sometimes those directions were pretty janky.
Yeah.
That's a true statement. Yeah, I did. I remember pulling back into Norman, if I'm not mistaken, at your house, and we had to put. I was like, just back it into the tree; it'll be all right. It'll go into place. And we backed that bumper into the tree, and it pushed it right back into place. And we were like, "Dude, we're good, man." I don't know. Oh, by the way, when they got hit by the car, did they stop? No, they stopped. They just kept on going and hoped for the best that the other driver made it. They didn't even care. They were like, "Hey, we got a thing to go to. We don't want to get lost."
Hey, man, leaving the scene of an accident. That's what I do best, right?
Good
Do what you gotta
God.
do.
So I don't know if this is live or, but they're holding a UN Security Emergency Council meeting,
Uh-oh. Here we go.
and the
Oh, no.
Iranian representative is speaking right now.
Can you interpret for us?
Oh, I can't interpret what he's saying. No, he's speaking English.
Sherpa, Muhammad Jihad. Sherpa.
Durka.
Interpret.
Sherpa. What a great movie.
I'll watch it and update you.
The movie or the Security Council?
Security Council.
Oh.
Let's hope that they are apologizing, because Aaron does not want to shave. I mean, and lose the weight. But the shaving thing is definitely a no-go. He does not want to come back. So they might bring Mark back. Mark's way more important than we.
Doubt it. Yeah. There's
You have
enough
way
old
more
sergeant majors
experience.
sitting around. They wouldn't bring me back. What does the sergeant major do? Just they don't do any work or nothing.
Apparently less than moose shit, right?
What do you watch? What are you seeing that on, Aaron?
I've got it on some live. I think it's Fox Live on YouTube.
Yeah, my wife's in the living room. I just told her to go to like local channels for like news and stuff, and it's not showing anything. Doesn't mean it's not happening, but
Aaron watches Fox News, so it's Fox News.
I'll be honest with you, I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube now. I mean, they've got movies, they've got live, they've got all kinds of crap on YouTube now.
Are you watching the channel that's known as Fox News?
That what is there's another one, Right Side Broadcasting or something like that.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. There's quite a few out.
Oh yeah. Well, it's once upon a time I tried to watch everything, but you've got certain channels now, I guess, in it, MSNBC and CNN, that like to not show what conservatives or the GOP saying, because they're lying about everything, so we don't want to expose that to our viewers. Well, guess what? You probably lost 50% of your viewers anyway. So
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Well, hey, I think it's about that time. We are a little over the hour mark, quite a bit actually, I think, but it's okay. I could be wrong on that as well, and I am wrong. I'm going to cheers you with our fireside chat there. But hey, thank you all. Thank you all for coming on and continuing to be part of this podcast crew and the crazy shenanigans that we got going on, and all the funny stories and good news stories that we have as well. We missed one this week. We didn't have our female counterpart, but she'll be back next week sometime. So it will all be good. But hey, thanks again. Last party shots. Anybody? Vic, you got anything?
No, not really. I'm going to start reviewing cigars, so I'll have a new cigar next week.
So what did you have this week?
This was a Liga Privada number 52. Good cigar.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Shut up. You were so full of crap.
Well, you had it up. I was pretty sure that's what it was, but I didn't know.
You gotta come up with some criteria to review that.
Okay, challenge accepted.
All right.
Accepted.
You got to educate us all on your
Yeah.
cigar.
Yeah.
Because we
Noted.
got to
Will
know
do.
what we got to smoke whenever it's time.
Yeah,
Aaron,
Vic,
how
next
about
week
you?
we're all gonna be sitting there smoking Black and Milds. We're like,
Hey, don't knock it, man. When you're deployed and you need something and that's all they got, Black and Miles is where it's at. That's all I can say. I smoked plenty of those while I was deployed. That's for sure. Sorry, Aaron, go
As
ahead.
long as you're not cutting them open and putting funky stuff in it, right?
No, not yet. I
Not
haven't
yet.
made it there yet.
Yeah, I hope for a good week. It's supposed to be nice weather this week, a little bit warmer here in Florida, but with the job, I'm hoping everything goes good this week with the job. Another end of what I was talking about earlier, sprint, what they call it, sprint review, scrum meeting, and all that. So I'm hoping everything goes well this week and we maybe get better news than what we've been getting from the government side. But other than that, yeah, I'm just standing by to watch World War III kickoff. Maybe not. Hopefully not.
Better start working out, man. Okay. Got to
Oh,
shave that
I
beard
got
and work
that.
out.
I got that. Well, I won't say it on here, but I got that special kind of strength. I'll leave it at that.
Very nice. Mark, party shots.
Since we talked so much about Porta Johns, I will leave you with a very, very important tip. No matter how good the soap smells, never, ever walk out of the bathroom smelling your hands.
That's actually pretty dang good.
yeah.
Now I'm gonna
good.
be conscious of it. I don't think I've ever done it, but good point.
That is good. I like it. Holy cow. Mike, man, you've got to work hard for this one, man. Because Mark come up with a good one. What do you got, Mike?
I don't know. I don't know how many times I walked out of the Porta John like. It was like
Now
I don't know what to.
And then proceeded to wipe your hands on your camis. Yeah.
And then pull my dip can out and do.
oh my God. Yes. Wow.
Now, if I could say anything, I just want to thank all of you. And I know Chris is not here, but I thank all of you for allowing me to be a part of this. Sometimes I don't have a lot to say, and sometimes I don't think I'm intelligent enough to participate in a lot of the conversations, and I'll say what I have to say sometimes. But it means a lot to be a part of. Sorry, the cat jumped up, but it means a lot to be a part of something again after so many years. So I thank all of you.
I like it. That's what we're here for, man. And speaking of that, everybody out there, if you need help and you need anything, you can always dial 988 press option 1. You can also text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net, click on the chat icon. All of those options are going to give you something and be able to help you out with whatever it is that you need. But one veteran life loss is one too many. I care about you. Our podcast crew cares about you. Everybody cares about you. So please get the help that you need. And with that, thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed. Stay motivated. Change your socks. And we're stopped.